Morning, everybody. We've got a few more minutes before kick-off at 9 o'clock, but we thought we'd let you see the screens. Hopefully, you can see the heading screen and the sharing's working okay and everything. Morning, everybody. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I'm Kelvin Worley. Work for Evosys and look after the commercial team. So thank you for joining us this morning. Firstly, hope you're all keeping safe and coping with the strange times that we're currently living in, and enjoying self-isolation or your time at home. Must admit, personally, for me, I'm actually missing going on the train and going on the tube in London, which is something I'd never thought I'd say in my life. But anyway, so the purpose of this morning's webinar is to introduce you to a free of charge solution that we've developed within the Evosys HCM team to complement Oracle's offer of free access to their health and safety module, and that's to support organisations and their employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I'm assuming that people are aware of the Oracle offer, but effectively the offer is that they will provide 12 months access to the health and safety module for customers that are live on Oracle HCM. If you need more detail on that, either drop me a note personally or put a question in through the webinar, and obviously we can then liaise with Oracle on your behalf to get more details of that. For those of you that aren't aware, and there's a few names on this morning's webinar that I recognise, Patrick and Joe and a few others, and a couple of Richards from PHE. So welcome, gentlemen, and thanks for your recent support. So, but Evosys, we're a dedicated Oracle partner. We've got more than 1,000 cloud customers, large majority of which are in the HCM space. And it's through that experience we've been able to fairly quickly develop this solution that Mark, one of our HCM experts, will walk you through this morning. So the key thing really today is for us to explain to you how we can support you if you do take advantage of the Oracle free offer of the health and safety module, and also then to make sure that we set, I suppose, the way forward with you. And if you've got any questions as we go through, please, if you can record them on the question part of the webinar screen, and we can pick those up at the end. So what I'm going to do is just introduce you to the team that are with us this morning. As I say, I'm Kelvin Worley. I look after the commercial team here in the UK. Jens Lindenberg does the same as me, but in his opinion a lot better in Europe. And the person that's going to talk us through the majority of the solution is Mark Denler, who's our customer services manager for HCM. We're also joined on the line by Naeem, who's one of our senior HCM consultants, who was the main driver behind the solution. So Naeem's got a lot more of the detail if we need it. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mark to take you through the solution, and then as I say, we can pick up any questions if you can record those as we're going through at the end of the session. Thanks, Mark. I will let you take the wheel.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kelvin. So also very warm welcome from my side. We're switching accents, as you can hear. My name is Mark Dendler. I'm based in Switzerland. I'm covering UK, Europe in terms of HCM, pre-sales and customer success manager role. And I'll be going through this presentation this morning. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be giving you an overview on two offers we have. The first one will be around the Oracle Health and Safety module, where we are proposing a free implementation based on the COVID-19 situation. I'll be showing you a few introduction slides, and then I'll be showing you a live demo of the solution. And then in the second part, I will be going through a digital assistant offer we're having also at the moment free of charge for those who are interested. I expect to have about 30 minutes of a presentation, and then we will be answering the questions at the end. So first of all, as Kelvin mentioned in his introduction, the COVID-19 situation has led to some changes in way of working and in way of monitoring your workforce. Oracle has proposed to offer the health and safety module for 1 year free of license. And we have followed and said, okay, then we will do free implementations for our customers or Oracle customers who are interested to do so. What is the aim of this solution? What do we want to achieve? We basically have 4 topics we want to follow up through. First of all, it's kind of give the organizations the possibility to monitor the spread within their company. In case you have an international, global organization, you might not have a good overview how many people are infected, how strong is my workforce, and you want to be able to have an internal view on what is happening. And of course, on the other side, you also want to protect your employees of getting infected and making sure you're following regulations given out by the local authorities. Today in the call, we have people from different countries listening, so I will not be going too much in detail about the local regulations because they differ from one country to another, but always keep in mind, of course, that your country's regulations are predominant and would be the ones to follow, and then the solution can support you in doing that. Second point is really to be able to respond to and take measures if you have positive people tested positive in your organization, that you can see what has been going on in my company and what actions do I need to take to be able to flatten the curve, as we got to know over the last weeks is the key thing to do in this situation. Point 3 is just to give a platform to your employees. We are thinking here about 2 things. It's mainly, asking questions, raising concerns about their own health, but also maybe just pointing out areas in the organization where maybe the social distancing is not being able to be kept, or where they don't feel confident in working in a safe environment. And with this health and safety incident tool, you have the opportunity to basically give them an opportunity to raise their concern. And then as a 4th point, from an organization point of view, just to have an overview what's going on in the organization and where do we stand at the moment with our workforce. We tried to keep the process very simple of addressing this issue. So it's basically a 3-step approach. First, somebody needed to raise the incident and says, hey, I am sick, or I know someone of my colleague is sick, or I have some symptoms and I'm not quite sure what the status is, but it needs to be raised as a first point, and then it will go to a responsible person. That can either be a health and safety officer or an HR person, who will then be looking at what is the incident, what has the employee raised, do I need to follow up, do I need to take actions, and making sure that concerns are addressed in a proper and correct way. Then the last part is really around analysis of the data, checking how is the development, how are we moving as a company in those difficult times. In a little bit of a different way to present here in just a little process flow. So again, the employee is raising. He can raise it either from himself or for somebody else. That could also be the manager who is raising it for one of his employees, if that person is not working anymore or not at accessing a computer or a mobile device. Then we have somebody who is taking the appropriate actions, making sure there's a follow-up. Here we have named that as the health and safety manager, and then the senior management to be able to see how are we moving on, how are things going forward. In previous demos, we have received the question, where is the manager in this one? Here we can try to keep it very simple and have not involved the manager, but of course, we could also send out notifications to the manager so he is aware of what's going on, or the health and safety manager is then making sure that proper communications is being done to the relevant people like HR, like managers. From our perspective, the people involved would be, again, the employee as an incident reporter, then the health and safety admins who are responsible for making sure that that actions are taken, but also that local regulations are being followed. HR teams are always informed by notification when incidents are being raised and will have the proper policies and procedures to follow up on. And then the organization leaders, the people who are getting the reports, who can see the reports, that of course always based on the security role they have and on the access they're allowed to have on the data. For an employee, it will be quite simple. I'll show you how to raise such an incident. That can be done over your computer or over your mobile, if the mobile functionality of the HCM Cloud is activated and put in place, and will then also receive an information that that incident has been raised and has been processed and followed up upon. Once the incident will have been raised, it's then really going to be the health and safety manager who will be taking actions on it. He or she will see the details, will be able to create events or actions. I will be showing that to you in a minute in the demo environment, but just then following up on your procedures which have been put in place in your company. And as the last steps, the analysis part, where you then have a real-time view on your workforce, on the incidents raised, and of course that on a global level if you're a global company. And with that you can see where do I stand, how are things moving, and for example here a little dashboard we have created, which would be showing you where do we stand in this situation at the moment. What we were going to be doing is, if you're interested, there would be a meeting or a phone call. Meeting is maybe not the right word at this very moment, so there'll be an online meeting with one of our consultants to really understand what would be your need. We would be doing the configuration then in the back, and we believe that within 3 days the system would be up and running and available to you. Some assumptions which are important to understand and to know is that we would be expecting that global HR is already implemented and ready, that on the existing roles, limited personalization has been done so that we can give the privileges of health and safety to specific roles, and also that compliance will still be with you as the customer, and we will just be supporting you on that topic. And that would then be the way we would be going forward to make sure that you would have the health and safety available in a quick and simple way for the COVID-19 situation. I would now switch to the demo and leave this screen here, and I'm opening now the application from an employee's point of view. What you see here is the landing page of the HCM Cloud solution. I'm logged in as an employee called Pike. I have here in this demo environment a lot of options and possibilities. What would be interesting for us this morning is now that me as an employee, I would like to raise a safety incident. So we have this safety incident button, and I will be clicking on it to open the first view. Immediately you will be coming to that coronavirus page. This is the standard configuration we have now done for this offer, where immediately you would be put on the coronavirus incident page, where there could be some general information about how to behave, what is going on. This is based on the standard health and safety incident page, so you will see there could be other health and incident cases you also want to report on, but here, of course, at the moment we're focusing on the coronavirus, so I will say continue and see what's coming up. I have then to fill in some incident details and giving information as the incident raiser. I can provide details, actions already taken, level of severity. We have added some information just to know, has that person been on site since he had that fever, or has it been only off site? We will have, of course, your standard locations, which would be available in the drop-down menu, and where exactly, just to know where that person has been, if that person has been on site, to be able to maybe then take some actions if necessary. You will have, am I reporting that for myself, or I could also change and say, okay, I'm reporting for somebody else. When did it happen? So a very simple incident reporting page, where people could also add some attachment, so that in a very quick and simple way, an employee could submit and fill in an incident. That would be the incident raising part. I would now be switching to another role, and I'm now switching to the role of the health and safety manager. So I'm now logged in as HR Pike, and here I have as my client group, I also have the safety incident overview. And here you will now see this is a little bit a different view, because that role has now more possibilities, more things that can be done. So you will see the incidents available. I have prepared one just to search one, and it was 3,010 more. And basically you see when it has been raised, what was the severity, some information about it, and then different informations in the back. So I can then go into that incident detail and see some more information. Here at the moment, there's a lot of possibilities we have kept there. Those are mostly non-mandatory fields, but just what has been reported. You always have the opportunity to edit it if you want to. You can put some notes with it. You can edit notes. So for example, if you want to add different information, if you have an internal process in place who will review the incident and who will be the incident owner, here now we kept it with the health and safety manager being the owner. If you believe that you need to take some actions or events, you can basically say, okay, based on that incident, I want to have an event created around illness. So again, the same information will be coming from the incident raised, and you then have the possibility to add some information around the person injured or now the person sick. Let me open that. So here we say that's again employee Pike. So this would be a task done by the health and safety responsible person. So that person would then know, okay, what is our internal standard procedures? And here we also have configured the COVID-19 nature as a nature field. So let's say at this point here it's suspected, and then you can also put in target completion date, actions required or completed, and save and close events like that. So with this action or event possibility, you can basically do some follow-up actions, and you could then also say if you have more than one incident on one location, you can relate them together. You can create some actions and say, for example, we want to have some preventive actions, we need to do some cleanups, or we need to close one site. So you can have those information together in one overview. And this would then basically be the way you could be monitoring and following up on actions around the COVID-19 from a health and safety perspective. With this, we might be able to take some questions if required around the health and safety offer. I don't know, is there any questions from somebody? You're very welcome to put those in the chat if you have any. Let me pause just 1 minute.
There's nothing in there at the minute, Mark, but thanks for that. But yeah, as Mark says, if you want to post any questions through the question tab, Mark, or whatever, the button, that's the word I'm looking for.
Can you hear me?
If not, we'll all right, sorry, yeah, carry on.
Sorry, okay. One question regarding EHS reporting system. So this is for coronavirus. Can you show some examples, for practical examples, for hazards, reporting of hazards, risks or something, or observations? And one question also, is there a possibility to have a mobile phone application for that? Because in our company here, we try to that the employees that they are reporting hazards. So they have mobile phones, they don't have computers, operators on machines and that. So is there a possibility or module for that, maybe?
Okay, yes, I'm happy to answer that question. So your second question was around the mobile functionalities.
Yeah.
Oracle HCM Cloud has that functionality that would need to be activated as part of the implementation, so that your employees could access HCM Oracle Cloud, and then they would also be able to raise incidents based on HCM Oracle Cloud. So my question would be, if you have already implemented HCM but not done the mobile application activation, that would be a prerequisite we would need, but then it would be no problem to basically make sure they can raise those incidents over their mobile phone.
Currently, we don't have any system, any software in place. We have just formed an email group where is actually maintenance and operator. So you just send an email with a picture of a hazard or incident to email address called hazards.company.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and on that way they receive the information that something's happened and something needs to be resolved or fixed or something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want actually something that is very simple, so that somebody can open an app on mobile phone, take a picture, short description, and just send it.
Okay. So as I said at the beginning, one prerequisite would be that Oracle HCM is already available for your employees to be able to add just that health and safety module. If you don't have any system in place at the moment, then I have the second option around chatbot that could maybe be more something you need, but then we could also take that discussion offline and discuss a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, of course. Just one question, because I have to go to one meeting, so yeah. I will leave you. But you have my contact, so you can contact us. And is there possibility to try some demo options, demo software, just to try it, just to see how it works, how it's working, and that?
We would be happy to give you a more in-depth demo. That would be possible to see what you want to do, and then we could really look at what could be interesting for you. So maybe what you just asked a minute ago is around the reporting functionalities.
Yeah.
So within Oracle there is a strong reporting functionalities around reports and analytics. And here now, for example, I could show you that we have a few of those reports available. So as the data is in HCM Cloud, we can take and create reports. We have done here a few simple reports where this would be like an overview list, and here it's a little bit difficult to see, but you could then export it.
Yeah.
Then you would have it in Excel, and then you could do further reports or create an own report.
Filtering and etc. Okay, this is actually good information. So I have to leave now. So you have my contact. Please contact me. So because we are a group. We have different manufacturing sites across the Europe and in United States also. So we are interested in some global solution for reporting, and we can discuss about the details. So,
Okay.
Thank you for that. That's it from me.
You're welcome. Well, bye-bye.
So, Mark, we've got another couple of questions here. And I think Naeem's online as well if you need any support on them. Samir asks, can we add a line manager?
Yes, as that is always possible. We wanted to keep the process as lean and mean as possible, so that's why we didn't have it in, but this is something we could look at and do the configuration accordingly.
Thank you very much. And then Tony Bulmer from Thurrock. If an employee is using the mobile app, is this linked to the camera in the same way that expenses do for submitting pictures of receipts?
That I would not be. So you can add attachments. So I assume you could also just take a picture as an attachment and add it like that. But I would verify and add that to the presentation deck as an answer to be 100% sure.
Lovely, thanks, Mark. So we'll come back to you on that one, Tony. Don't think there's any other questions at this juncture. So I don't know if you want to crack on, Mark. Thanks for that.
Yes, so let's jump maybe to the other option or other product that could be able to help. So Evosys and Bot Supply are working together on the topic of chatbot and digital assistant. And here it's basically coming out of the same COVID-19 situation where people are asking questions or are unsure, and you want to give them a platform. So here what we're looking at is how can we spread the awareness, what is allowed, what is not allowed in the workplace, what is the company policy, and so that employees could basically ask questions to a chatbot, get the relevant answer on time, real time, and not having to have manual interaction with people from HR, health and safety for the standard answers, and so being able to use a chatbot to answer to concerns and also to make sure that policy is being followed throughout the company. So here it would be more around getting the FAQs you already have in place, put them in our digital assistant solution, configure it, and then also having the option to see what can be done. And here, if we're looking at the functionalities of such a chatbot, there is some advantages that it really is. We have pre-built it for the Corona situation, so you could build on your existing data. It's simple in use and can be extended by your own team. for companies who are on multiple languageal sites that you can have that in different languages, and it's also linked to the Oracle HCM solution and the Oracle chatbot. But this here would now not be a prerequisite that you would need to have Oracle HCM in place. If you have a chatbot solution, you could integrate that to your current solution. Let me go to the next page. So omnichannel is one topic, and also, of course, to have that 24/7 available. If you have Oracle HCM, you can embed it directly with the chatbot available in the standard Oracle HCM solution. And here again, the way we would be setting up is understand your needs. If you're interested, we would then take about 5 days for the implementation, and then as a free offer, the first 2 months of licenses would be free of charge. Again, here some assumptions that we would be following up through to make sure that you have a solution that is workable, that can be used as quickly as possible. So that would be it on the chatbot side. So now would be the end of the formal presentation from my side. I hope I was able to show you how in a quick way you could implement health and safety and give your employees the possibility to raise incidents and you as a company to follow up. And then also with the chatbot opportunity, how you could maybe utilize your current chatbot in a more efficient way. And if you have any inquiries or questions, feel free to ask them to any one of the participants in this call. We will be sharing our presentation with you by mail, or just go to our business evosysglobal.com email address. With that, do we have any more questions, Kelvin?
No, I can't see any more questions coming in, and unless anybody's got any last minute ones. But thanks for that, Mark, and thanks everyone for your attention and your time this morning. Hopefully you found it useful, and as we mentioned at the outset, what we've presented here is a solution, say, that generally sits either on top of the Oracle Health and Safety or in line with the chatbot side of it. And these solutions, say, are free of charge. It's our way of trying to give something back in this difficult time that we're all going through. So as Mark says, we'd welcome any questions either now or if no one's got anything at the minute, please do email us at the appropriate address that was on the screen, but Mark's taken us back to the beginning. But there we go. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so either to myself, to Jens, or to Mark directly. So with that, if no one has any further questions, again, thanks very much for your time, and have a good day. And as we say these days, stay safe out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelvin.